Right now, my garden is essentially a building site, which is making filming difficult. So it's just a quick video from me today to show you how I make the best-selling product in my Etsy shop. And that's these cute little packs of animal stickers. And I don't use a Cricut or a silhouette cutter. I actually have two different kinds of stickers in my shop. These vinyl sticker sheets were made for me by a company here in the UK, and they're really cute. I'm really pleased with them, but they're not the ones I want to show you today. The ones I want to talk about are these little packets with 10 individual stickers in each, and each pack is themed. So there's butterflies, mushrooms, pumpkins, British wildlife. In total, I have, I think, about 35 or 40 different themes of stickers in my shop. And this is what the individual stickers look like. So they've all got a thin white border around them, and all the original detail and colour of the watercolour painting that was used to create them is in there. Unlike the sticker sheets, which were vinyl, these ones are paper. So they're not great for sticking on something like a water bottle or a lunchbox, but they are perfect for bullet journaling, craft projects, school projects, anything along those lines. And the ink won't smudge at all. You can scratch at these and they're really durable. Now, for the purposes of this video, I did some quick maths, and I've sold over 5,500 of these sticker packs in my Etsy shop, which I was quite surprised by. I knew I'd sold a lot, but I had no idea that it was that many. And the actual figure is probably closer to 7,000 because I also sell them on Not on the High Street, which is a UK-based website, kind of similar to Etsy, but also quite different. And I sell them in some gift shops here in the UK, as well as at art fairs and craft markets. When I started thinking about adding stickers to my Etsy shop, my first thought was to get a Cricut cutting machine, but when I started looking into them, I ended up going down this kind of rabbit hole of YouTube videos where people were explaining various workarounds to the issues they've had. It looked like there'd be quite a bit of trial and error in testing the best papers and getting the cut settings correct, and a steep learning curve in understanding the software side of it. And I'm sure that once you've figured that out, it's worth it, but that's a level of patience that I didn't really possess. The second option was to get a third party to print and cut the stickers for me, but again, there's quite a big upfront cost involved there because you usually have quite large minimum orders, and if you want to print more than one design, that cost can shoot up pretty quickly. What I needed was to be able to test the water with just a small number of several different designs. What I ended up doing was a kind of hybrid approach. So I got these large sheets printed by a professional print company here in the UK. It's the company that I was already using to make my greetings cards, and if anyone wants more information on that, just let me know in the comments. So hopefully you can see that the finish on these is really good quality. The images are crisp and detailed, and the paper has a really lovely finish to it. This paper is called Matte Crackback. Now, most print companies will offer something like this as a paper option. It also comes in a gloss version too, but the important part, if I turn it over, is the cracked back, which refers to the lines running along the back here. This is where the paper has been scored, just on the backing, making it easy to peel away from the front. I'm going to come back to those later. This sheet is what's called SRA3 in size, which again is quite a standard size across print companies. It's a little larger than A3. If I put this piece of A3 card over the top of this one, you can see it's just slightly bigger. The print area on this sheet is actually A3, so what that means is you can't place your design too close to the edge because it'll get cropped off. But as you can see from these sheets, I usually get between 40 and 50 individual stickers on a sheet. And each of those 40 or 50 stickers can be a different design, which is exactly what I needed. So once I've got all my stickers beautifully printed, all I have to do is cut them all out. And I do this with a pair of really good scissors. Now, I realise that this part must seem like a really crazy and labour-intensive way to make stickers, but hear me out. Firstly, let's talk about the cost. Ordering, for example, 20 sheets like this would cost me a fraction less than the cost of a pack of printable sticker paper. And that cost will come down the more sheets that I order from the printer. Also, the sheets I get from the printers are twice the size, so I can fit a lot more designs on them. And I don't have to pay for the inks in my printer, and my pair of scissors costs significantly less than a Cricut machine. After cutting 7,000 packs of stickers, which equates to 70,000 individual stickers, I'm only on my third pair of scissors. In fact, I still have the older ones, they've just been moved on to less precise cutting jobs. Then there's the time factor. So yes, cutting stickers by hand does take time, but I genuinely don't think it takes any longer than using the Cricut would. Setting up the artwork for print, the way I do it, is really quick and easy. I'll come back to that in a minute. With the Cricut, you have to get your head around that whole Cricut design space, and then you have to position the sheet of paper onto the sticky mat and feed it into the machine, wait for it to cut, remove it really carefully, and repeat. And every time you want to print and cut a new design, you have to do the whole artwork setup and go through all that again, and hope each time that it's cut correctly. Cutting the stickers by hand is something that I can do while I'm sitting on the sofa, listening to a podcast, or half watching YouTube videos. It's more like a relaxing craft activity than work. You know, some evenings I'll knit, some evenings I'll crochet, and some evenings I'll cut stickers. And it's actually quite addictive. Sometimes I'll pick up this box with the intention of cutting out a couple of stickers while I wait for my printer to do its thing, and before I know it, I'm in the zone and I've got 100 new stickers on my lap. It's also kind of like putting the handmade back into my small handmade business when other things like card printing have been outsourced. Plus, after 7,000 packs of stickers, I've got quite good at cutting them out quickly. So I think these are a great way of testing the water with sticker making. And if you want to try this technique yourself, I've got some tips for you. Tip number 1 isn't exactly a tip actually, because it's kind of obvious, or it should be, and that is to double check the print specifications with the print company that you're using. So this is a PDF I created. It's set to the SRA3 size that I mentioned earlier, and I've made sure that I've kept that border around the edge. And it's saved in a CMYK colour profile, which is standard for print, but it's worth double checking with the company you use. So I create a document that is the correct size for the SRA3 format. And you can, in Photoshop, use the rulers to drag down the lines and correctly measure out where your print area should be. But one really quick and easy way of doing it that you can do in any program is to create another document that is A3, fill it with a pale colour like this, and just copy and paste it onto the bottom of your sticker sheet. So that way you can see which elements need to just be brought in slightly in order to be in the right position. And then of course you need to just hide that one before you go to print. All my animals have already been cut out and removed from their background because they've all been used in prints already, and I'll do another video in the future to show you how I remove the backgrounds on watercolour paper. But once cut out, I just drop them into this document and move them all around until I've squeezed in as many as I can. Remember to leave enough of a gap around each animal to cut out that white border. I just do this by eyeballing it and estimating that, and it's always worked out fine. Tip number 2 is to orientate the stickers properly on the sheet. So if you look at this one, these sharks, they're all running that way along the paper, apart from this one, but most of them are running that way along the page. And you'll see why that is if I show you on this sheet. So remember on the printed sheets, I showed you the scored lines that run along the back of the page. Now, if you have a long thin design like this whale, and you orientate it that way on the page, there's a chance that it could fall in between two of those lines, which you don't want. By putting them this way on the page, he's going to catch at least one of those score marks on him. And that's important because that is how you take the backing off the stickers. So if you look for the score, you just give it a little gentle fold and it will really easily peel away from its backing. And that ease of use is one of the things that I really love about these stickers. Tip number 3 is to keep your scissors clean. Look after them. Because you're cutting sticky paper, the adhesive will build up over time on the scissors, and that can make it more difficult for them to cut. I just give them a quick wipe with white spirits and all that gluey stuff comes straight off. The final tip is to do with shipping the stickers if you're selling them, and this might only apply to the UK. I don't know how postage works in other countries, but the tip is to keep the packs slim. So once I've cut my stickers, they go into one of these little cello sleeves with a simple backing card. If somebody buys a single pack, it fits into one of these small envelopes, and 2 packs will go together in this standard A5 envelope. But both of these are classed as letters. Now, if the packs were any thicker, they'd have to go as large letters because they wouldn't fit into the standard letter size. And that costs more money to post. So having just 10 stickers in each pack keeps them thin, it keeps the postage cost down, which is good for me, but it's also good for the customer. I use the cello bags because I also sell these stickers at shops and craft fairs as well as online, and so customers need to be able to see what's in each pack. It's not ideal, I would prefer if it was more environmentally friendly, but they are at least compostable and the card inside isn't laminated or anything like that, so that can be recycled. So there you have it, quality stickers that are easy and affordable and a little bit addictive to make. If you found this video useful in any way, please give it a thumbs up, and if you make any stickers of your own, I would love to see them. Bye for now.